Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Common Good Podcast. August 19th, 2026. The year of Robb Ryerse's campaign for Congress.
That's right.
Welcome, Rob.
Hey, Doug,
on Wednesday. We had things going on yesterday. And that's going to be happening, by the way, friends, over the next couple of months as we're on the road and doing what we can to replace a bunch of people who don't want to do their jobs with those who might want to do them. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I really think we need a new theme song.
Okay.
Maybe written and performed by the Raging Grannies.
Okay.
Doug, have you heard of this group, the Raging Grannies?
Well, not until, the text string lit up.
Apparently they started, this is a national thing with little branches, little cohorts of Raging Grannies.
Little varicose veins of Raging Grannies.
I think they started in Minneapolis because, of course they did. Of course.
As things do.
Had a campaign event on Sunday with dear friend Chris Jones. The Raging Grannies came. The Raging Grannies are a group of our elders that all wore hats.
Oh.
And they rewrote the lyrics to songs and sang them.
And there Yankovic style?
Yeah. There was a cowbell, and there was kazoo, and there were songs about me.
like the tune of threw into Chat GPT, write a song about Robb Ryerse and insert it in there, and then they created lyrics. Do you think
I don't think
that's very possible and very fun.
I don't think they use ChatGPT. That would surprise me. There to the tune of the Bonanza theme song, the Bonanza theme. A little song about me, and that rhymed Ryerse with democracy.
Oh, of course. Well done. I mean, have you? I've never thought of that.
No, I hadn't either.
Robb Ryerse will save democracy.
Heresy.
You will all see.
Yeah, heresy. Occasionally a Pharisee, but not democracy.
Oh, wonderful. Well, if you're new to us, Robb Ryerse is running for.
I want this group of.
Arkansas.
I want this group of really sweet, wonderful ladies to follow me around everywhere I go.
I bet they'd be willing to consider that. How many of them were there to paint people a picture of the group of Raging Grandmas?
18 to 20.
So about 19. You gave yourself a real range. You're like, I'm pretty precise here. I don't know if there were 18 or 20. There was that one short person in the back, and I may have counted her twice.
Oh, I think I only texted you one of the videos. They sang 4 songs, 3 of them about me and 1 about Chris Jones, and it was absolutely amazing.
Wow. Who booked those people? Who found the Raging Grannies?
The organizer of the event, who is a Raging Granny herself.
Oh.
And I now have the business card of the head of the Raging Grannies in Northwest Arkansas.
Well, maybe Vote Common Good needs to just be in touch with the network of Raging Grannies across the country.
I am telling you, Doug, it was fantastic.
Hey, and if any of you are in Iowa, we're going to be rolling through the eastern part of Iowa in just a week now. I mean, a week from Saturday. We're going to be doing some events.
Yeah.
Already back up on the road. Good Force 1 is in getting its superhero outfit on, and we're getting ready to roll this thing to Iowa and then Ohio, North Carolina, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Yeah, we're going to all the places. Hey, we came home from a little family get-together. We were gone for, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, came back Tuesday. Came into the room behind me, which is sort of a little laundry room, and then we have a little sauna room. We have a small in-house
Yeah,
sauna.
I think we talked about the sauna last week.
And the sauna smells great, as it always does. It's a little cedar, lovely cedar smell. This smelled great for 5 or 7 years, however long we've had it.
6.
5 to 7. It's funny, isn't it? How people are like, I don't want to get too precise, so let me just give you 5 to 7. Could have said about 6, but I just want to be. That's fabulous. The distinct smell of a dead animal in that room, in and around that room.
Yeah.
And have you ever had to hunt for a dead animal based on a smell in your house?
Oh,
I mean, I feel like at your house, good Lord, there could be dozens. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
It's a disconcerting feeling as you're like everything you move. For me, at least, I was like, oh, there's just going to be, this. and worse than finding that animal, which I had sort of girded my emotional loins to be prepared for. I couldn't find it.
Oh.
And so then it's like, is it in the wall somehow? Is it in the ceiling? And so last night I went to bed and thought, okay, I'll see what happens in the morning. And
I mean, last week you were re-drywalling things. The thought of like, now you got to go, looking for a mouse somewhere.
Yeah, I'd have to rip.
Okay.
But see, the thing that worried me is that a small mouse, mice die around our house quite often. We'll find, small little mouse. They don't.
Sounds like a threat.
Yeah. Could be the poison we leave for them. Could be the trap the metal bar that comes slashing down after we trick them with some peanut butter. But they don't smell. The bodies there's not enough to decompose in a little mouse. So then I'm like, okay, is it a rat? Is it a possum? Is it what are I was trying to go through the list of animals that you have living in your house and encroaching.
Mm-hmm.
Could be any of those, but I don't know. So I will put on the social places that I do things the discovery of this, if the discovery is indeed ever found. But that's not a great feeling. I mean, I want to live in modern luxuries of there not being rotting carcasses in my domicile.
This is really, you're just really speaking from your privilege right now, Doug.
Oh, I know I am. And may that be everyone's privilege. May we all live in a place where we have no rotting carcasses in our domiciles. May we live in a world where we don't have that kind of experience. Hey, Jim, I'm so glad you are on this morning. We're starting it's a little after 8 a.m. Central Time, which we know is a little after 6 a.m. out on the Pacific Coast. And literally last night when Rob said, hey, I'd have to start at 8, I thought, okay, Jim's going to come in late. And then here you are, buddy, just popping right in. So, so sorry you're up so early, and well done. Hey, apparently North Carolina has Raging Grannies.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's like a national thing.
All right.
With little chapters. Yeah.
Well, when we're on the road, we get a little lonely. Oh. We could find some bus company from the Raging Grannies could come. Maybe it becomes a whole scandal of the.
There was,
so there's groupies are the Raging Grannies staying too late in the common good.
There was. I had a conversation with a guy, we had a fundraiser. I don't know, probably 80 people or so showed up. Really successful fundraiser at Farrell's Lounge, which is a great bar down on Dixon Street in Fayetteville. And Chris Jones came, and the Raging Grannies were the opening act, and then Chris spoke and I spoke. It was a really wonderful event on Sunday afternoon. People are arriving, and I'm, chatting. Hey, I'm Rob. Good to meet you. And, I knew maybe a third of the people there, maybe half the people there, but there was a lot of new folks, which is fantastic. Introduced myself to this guy, and he just looks at me, just kind of shakes his head, and he says, I'm a roadie for the grannies. Like
Awesome.
what do you gotta? You're the one who carries in the folders with like the lyrics. Oh, it's just amazing.
Love it. Oh, that's fabulous. Hey, Rob, have you ever had a job that you didn't want? Do you ever have a job you feel stuck in?
Yes.
It's not a great feeling.
Mm-mm. No.
How did you manage the job that you didn't want anymore, but for whatever reason you knew you had to last through the summer, you had to do it through the rest of the work program? It's in college. What you were running for Congress. Like, what job did you have that you didn't want?
Yeah. I was in a cubicle, and I really spent a lot of time kind of focused in on decorating the cubicle to try to make me feel better.
Exactly what you do. You try to put the comforts of home. You try to grab a little bit of soothing. You try to take your raging emotional frustration and soothe it down.
Really tried to, it was during that time that, my relationship with my work wife really deepened.
Yeah, where you found that one person, that one coworker, and you started spending more time with them, and you thought to yourself, I can make it through this day as long as I could see Natalie or
it's
Caroline or somebody whose life still seemed like it had something in front of it that had some meaning.
Yeah.
Someone who could get out.
Yeah.
Someone who could just quit.
I spent a lot of time on the internet, on social media in particular, just raging at,
just distracting yourself from your work responsibilities.
Yeah, totally.
Look, how many times have you opened a spreadsheet, any of us, and you're like, now I got to do that thing. And you just take a little break just for a couple of minutes, just to give yourself a little bit of relief, because you don't like the job. And even more so, you're incapable of it.
Yeah, you're not good at it. Yeah. You've hit your level of incompetence. Like that, there's the Peter principle. Have you heard the Peter principle that people rise to the level of their incompetence?
No, is that a preacher thing, like Peter from the Bible?
No. I don't think it's Peter from the Bible. No, it's like it's a thing that people rise to the level of like where they're most competent, and that leads for them to get promoted. And when they get promoted, they now are incompetent at that job. And it's it's this idea that people often end up in jobs where they're no longer competent for.
I see.
Yeah.
You don't think that comes maybe from that's some sort of a
might be from
like
Peter the
got
Apostle
promoted up to be
Cephas. It's not called the Cephas principle.
He became the Pope. Rob, when you think about the President of the United States,
I don't want an incompetent one,
and the responsibilities of the President of the United States, I'd like to just suggest to you a few of them. There are executive and administrative roles that a president has to do. They have to execute the laws. They make an oath that they will execute the laws faithfully.
And by execute, you mean complete, fulfill, as opposed to, kill.
Enforce and implement across the entirety of the federal government.
Yeah.
It's a big job. It's a CEO level job.
Right.
They have to lead executive agencies. They have to make appointments to federal positions.
Yep.
They have to manage executive orders with their own signature and the imprimatur of their position.
Mm-hmm.
They are the commander-in-chief over all branches of the United States Armed Forces. They are the chief diplomat to the United States. They have legislative and judicial roles. They have veto power over laws passed by Congress.
Yeah.
They have to manage clemencies and pardons. They're the head of state. They're the person who has to represent us to all other nations. They have to be a crisis manager during times of disasters, natural and man-made.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in our system, they also have to be the party leader for their political movement. They have to be the chief decorator of the office space. They have to be the design architect of the buildings. Rob, no one elects a president. Not this failure or the 45 that have gone before.
Yeah.
44 to 45 that have gone before.
44 and a half.
What was the one that was like president for 8 days? That's got to be like. No one is elected a president.
Listen, let me tell you. Recently watched a documentary about Teddy Roosevelt on Netflix. Wow, that guy. Wow.
What do you mean?
Just
speechless.
What a story. Speechless.
In a good way? In a not good way?
Yeah. In a fascinating, here's a guy just like, I'm doing stuff and taking stuff on, and yeah, really great.
Do you think anyone, when they went to the voting booth in 2016 or November of 2016 or November of 2024, or November of 2020 in the middle of a pandemic, said to themselves, who's going to work on the decor of the president's office? Do you think any CEO is put into the position so they could first and foremost make sure their office looks great? When Donald Trump said he wanted to be president to make America great, did anyone think he was going to start with his version of gold-plated office decor? The fact that the man believes his job is not to make America's economy work for everyone, but to make the office decor work for him, is precisely why this man's un-American approach to the presidency is hurting America. I've been breathing air since 1966.
Yeah.
Never did I dream. Rob, when I was an infant, when I was a little baby and I came into this world and I was thinking, I wonder what the world is going to be like 6 decades from now. Never did I imagine that the most powerful position in the government would be handed over to a man who, when pushed, says, I want to redesign the decor of my office. Yeah. Not the decorum of my office, literally the decoration of my office. It is so absurd that we are going to spend time right now talking about the fact that the President of the United States, when pushed on the fact that he's being critiqued for not being able to or wanting to do his job retorted with, I had to redecorate. As if anyone gives a flying about the decor of the White House. Does anyone in Northwest Arkansas care about the decor of the White House? Does anyone think, you know what makes America great? We have a great White House decor. All right. Did you see the John Ossoff bit where John Ossoff, who's apparently not only running for Senate, is clearly running for president? Did you see the Democratic senator and candidate for his same position, wants a refill on the job, running for office? Did you see the critique that he leveled against the failed president?
I did. Yeah. He gave an excellent speech.
I would love to. I'd love to show this to the good people.
Here we go.
This is John Ossoff, who, by the way, has figured out his cadence and his affect in a pretty great way. And when Trump saw this, he was like, oh, geez, that guy looks great. Here's why I'm sure Donald Trump was fawning over the affect of John Ossoff after you see this little clip from John Ossoff.
And while the sailors on the Lincoln fight his war, while he fruitlessly drains our munitions and oil reserves, the president sleeps through his meetings. He golfs and trades stocks. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
He doesn't want to do his job, Ossoff says.
Yeah. It's a significant critique.
Fly with Natalie. And if you're unfamiliar with that critique, like I often think about the content of our podcast through the lens of my wife, Shelley, who's very engaged, cares a lot, but is not picking out.
Has no idea who Natalie
is. Well, Natalie is Donald Trump's personal assistant, who he has talked about extensively.
Yeah, referred to as the human printer,
because she carries a battery-powered printer with her in her bag, so that if something needs to be printed, Donald Trump doesn't have to look at a screen and she can print it off and show it to him, which is weird. The man spends a lot of time with his small little thumbs on screens. We all know it. But she has to print things for him. And I'll just say to Natalie, I feel your pain, because I have tried to operate a portable printer. The battery life is terrible. The connectivity is hit and miss.
Oh. Yeah, and it's not
the
just
amount of ink cartridges you are going through to put into that portable printer. I feel your pain, Natalie. You can get out of the worst job you've ever had to have.
And the ream of paper.
Good point. It's really heavy. It's really
and once you open it, and then it's like it's gonna be a mess.
Yeah. Once the plastic cellophane is taken off, that stuff is rolling all over the place. Yeah. There have been many a comment, including from Secret Service, who found notes that Natalie wrote to Donald Trump of her obsessive affection for him that caused them security concerns. Writing him little notes and leaving them all over, like, you are the only thing that matters to me. Phrases like this in notes. And the Secret Service is like,
with all my heart.
That's not normal. We spend a lot of time making sure that the people around the president are functioning as normal human beings. He's not, but they need to be. That caused them concern. So Ossoff brings this up. Donald Trump doesn't want to do his job. He wants to redecorate the ballroom and fly on the jet given to him by the Emir of Qatar with Natalie.
Thank you for saying given instead of gifted.
Thank you.
It's one of my pet peeves. I hate the word gifted.
You're like,
gave.
I was with the Ossoff, but you don't get my vote. Gifted. I'm not gifting you my vote.
Gonna hold my nose. It's lesser of two evils with this guy.
I mean, in a lot of progressive circles, something like that is enough to just be, you're out. You are out. We have not said gifted since 1986.
Do you know how small my circle would be if I had to eliminate everyone who used the word gifted instead of gave?
Dude, I keep, I'm an Enneagram 8, and one of the things of Enneagram 8s, that's just a personality type indicator if you don't know what it is, but I'm a particular, I'm 1/9 of the population, and because there's 9 types. People like me, we keep like column lists in our imagination of our brain, and we like click on someone and then slide them over into other columns.
Yeah.
Usually on ridiculous, unimportant things that just irritate you, and people that ultimately you can't trust when push comes to shove. No, I'm dragging people out for all manner of things, especially abbreviations.
The word.
If you don't have time to say cucumber,
cuke, you don't like a cuke? A cuke?
Literally, right when you said it right there, I felt my chest.
I can't remember the last time I used the word cuke. That's funny. Oh, it's not even a word.
Can you grab some cuke and guacs? Cukes and guac. Okay, guacamole. One of the great words. Just let it roll. Just let it roll. Let it roll. All right. So Ossoff levels.
That's totes adorbs.
Totes.
That is totes adorbs.
The best is that people literally don't have time to say as soon as possible. They're in such a hurry. We had to abbreviate as soon as possible.
And this coming from the guy that's trying to get YTB to happen.
Yeah, look.
Which I dropped a YTB on one of my children the other day, and
did you explain it to in parentheses?
Just let it sit there,
okay.
And then they asked, like, well, what does that mean? I said, well, Doug's trying to make this happen, and I got a no YTB coming back at me.
No, you're the best. See, yeah, friends, YTB is text short for you're the best. It's lovely. If we could of all the hellscape that has happened in our political system in the last 10 years, if we could at least innovate a nice little you're the best
YTB
abbreviation. Oh, look, I'm okay with certain acronyms in texting. You won't if you text me an acronym, I won't click and drag you into the unsafe file.
It really depends on what the acronym is.
Back to Ossoff. He levels this critique. It hits Trump right in his Natalie pocket, and he's raging about this. So a reporter brings it up in the White House. Now, again, the critique Ossoff brings is, we have a warship that has been out for 270 days because Donald Trump has mismanaged the Iran war. Hegseth has mismanaged the support for the Navy. They've been had food shortages that they had to solve on the ship. 2 crew members have attempted suicide on the ship because it's so terrible.
There are reports of people jumping overboard.
It's terrible.
It's bad.
They're not solving it. Trump is not talking about it. Trump is not talking about all manner of things. So he's asked the question, how do you want to respond to Senator Ossoff saying that you are not interested in doing your job? You are more concerned with decorating a ballroom and your office and flying around on Air Force One with your assistant And when push comes to shove and the Air Force plane that you're supposed to fly on is deemed not safe, you take a few people into the catering cart as you run for your life like a chicken, and Natalie's one of them. Catering cart Natalie. She gets picked. How do you want to
Secretary
respond
of
to
State,
this?
not so much.
Secretary of State left.
Expendable.
And what, Rob, if you were asked that your opponent in a political situation critiqued you as being uninterested in doing the duties of being a congressman, and instead you were concerned about spending time on a podcast and sitting around in your cigar shop, my guess is you would say,
hey, Shelley's back room, by the way, coming your way January 2027.
That has a whole different meaning in my house, but
Shelley's back room is a cigar shop in Washington, D.C. that I really like. Nothing to do with your wife.
Oh, I see. You're going to start frequenting it when you're there on work trips.
Oh, yeah. Already. Which, by the way, can I, a little parentheses, Doug, I got an email yesterday from the committee. I don't know what committee it is. I don't remember the name of the committee, but it was a save the date for new member orientation.
That's awesome. Boy, if they were the hiring committee, you'd be measuring the curtains.
Yeah.
Rob, if you were critiqued that you didn't care about being a congressman, my guess is your response would be something like, do you know what I care about?
I do care. And I care about the people who live in my district. And that's why I have been fighting for this, and this. I have voted for this, and this. I have asked these questions at committees. I have done this, and this work on behalf of the people I represent.
You would say something probably like, I know you are obsessed with me. You know who I'm obsessed with? The good people of 3rd Congressional District in Arkansas. I'm concerned not with me and what I'm doing. I'm concerned with the fact that these people have to work many part-time jobs or are going to lose their health care. Or because they earn $1 too much, lose their health care. You would say the purpose of my position as a congressman, or let's say you were the president someday and someone critiqued you for not caring enough. Every person with a political instinct would say, you think all I want to do is fly around on Air Force One and decorate my ballroom? No, you know what I'm doing? I'm working every day on behalf of the American people. And if you say I don't want to do my job, instead I want to build and decorate a ballroom, that's ridiculous. What does Donald Trump say? This.
Ossoff said you'd rather travel with your aide, Natalie Harp, and build the ballroom than do your job as president. What is your response, John Ossoff?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman lookalike? No, I would much rather do other things. We're building a great facility here. We're fixing a White House that hasn't been taken care of. You can look at this. This room was a disgraceful situation, the Oval Office, and it was let go. The whole building, the White House, was let go. The exteriors were falling apart. The columns were falling apart. The whole place was a mess. In addition, they've been trying to get a ballroom for the last 150 years. And when I said I was going to build a ballroom, the military asked if they could see me. And they say, sir, we have an opportunity to go down deep into the ground and build a military facility to go to the White House and to go with all of Washington, D.C., which would be so valuable.
John Ossoff says, you don't want to do your job. You want to build a ballroom. What's your response? Here's why I'm building a ballroom. He literally says, yes, I want to build a ballroom. And here's why. And not only build the ballroom, I had to start with redecorating this office.
Because it was a disgrace.
You don't want to do your job. You want to redecorate and build. Let me tell you why I'm redecorating and building.
Yeah.
It is crucial that this administration executes its work on behalf of the American people. This guy doesn't want to be president. He wants to be an interior decorator in the palace of Saddam Hussein, apparently. Because I've left this picture up for those watching this on video. That is a disgusting looking Oval Office. The Oval Office has been turned into a gold-plated Mar-a-Lago trash heap of design.
Can we talk about
terrible?
Yeah.
First of all, it's not his job to be decorating. Hire a decorator. Do your job. Secondly, your taste is terrible, Don. Terrible. Fortunately, it will be gone in 2.5 years, and it will be redecorated by somebody who just gets rid of the cheesy gold plating on everything.
Yeah. Can we talk about the critique of John Ossoff being Pee Wee Herman? First of all, I'm glad that someone got in the president's ear and reminded him that the character's name is Pee Wee Herman, not Pinky Herman.
Oh, he was misinsulting.
He was there was previously at a speech when he was talking about Ossoff. He thought he was going to be all clever and said, "Oh, he reminds me of Pinky Herman. Doesn't he remind you of Pinky Herman?" And everybody looked at him like, "Who are you talking about?" So we got Pee Wee Herman correct this time. Doug, Pee Wee Herman, character that rose to prominence in the late 80s. I'd say 85 to 87. I'm waiting for you to hit me with an 86, but okay, I'll just set that joke up for you there, Doug. You just left it there.
Something on Pee Wee Herman.
I know. And rose to prominence in the late 80s. TV show and movies. Fell out of favor because of a scandal of a sexual nature where the actor who plays Pee Wee Herman was arrested. Now, having a bit of a, I don't know, is having a bit of a nostalgic revival. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Doug, this is an insult that is, if Pee Wee Herman came on the scene in, say, 1986, that's when Pee Wee's Playhouse began. 40 years old?
It's a 40-year-old dig?
It's a 40-year-old reference. This is
Paul Rubin, the actor of Pee Wee Herman fame, the person who developed that character, has a documentary out about him right now that's one of the most popular documentaries. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, it's mind-bending, like so many of these things are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm just going to play the beginning of this clip again. Of course, Donald Trump wants to always take questions from the press in front of guests that he's invited into the gold-clad Oval Office, which is just in bad taste. Do you know what it's like when he does this? It's like inviting a bunch of neighbors over to your house for a get-together and then taking a work call in the middle of the living room. You've got these people over at the White House,
mm-hmm.
And then you're talking about other things that's on your work docket, meaning talking to the press. There's a young guy sitting next to him in some kind of a uniform. Looks like an 18, 19-year-old person. Watch his response when Trump says the nonsense about the Pee Wee Herman dig.
Ossoff said you'd rather travel with your aide, Natalie Harp, and build the ballroom than do your job as president. What is your response, John Ossoff?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman look-alike? No, I would much rather do other things. It's we're building a great facility here.
He does this little smirk, looks over at somebody. Oh, there's a dig. Do you know who thinks that's funny, Mr. President? 19-year-old kids and apparently 80-year-old men who think insulting someone by calling them a television character, like, it's so absurd. Everything about this guy that he's rewarded for, like, oh, isn't that funny? Like, it just isn't. Like, if you're in any other situation, any other work environment, and someone raises the question of someone who has some opposition to you, and you're like, let me just say they're like Pee Wee Herman, like, nobody would think that is funny. It's just not funny. And also, can we just look at John Ossoff for a minute?
On the Lincoln fight his
Does
war.
he remind you of Pee Wee Herman?
No.
The guy is just, I don't know, probably on a scale of attractiveness, high on the general scale of attractiveness. If Trump wanted to critique John Ossoff, he probably should have said, is that guy doing his job being a senator, or is he spending all of his time in the weight room? Because he's got quite a physique going. Is he spending all of his time at the tailored shirt store where they are form-fitting shirts to fit the guy's ripped shoulders and tight abs? You could pull that off. Pee Wee Herman? Okay. There is Donald Trump, who's obsessed with how beautiful he thinks he is, thinks that John Ossoff is Pee Wee Herman. Yeah. Every level of this is just absurd. Then he brings up, I've had to watch that clip a bunch of times to get ready for this. And edit it and stuff. He says, and after I said I was building a ballroom, the military came to me and said, hey, as long as you're building a ballroom, can we do some stuff down under the ground? So when Republicans say to you, do you know why we need a ballroom? Because we need a military installation below it. And we need a drone staging area on top of it. Who in that same clip, which I didn't play all the way through because you just can't listen to the man that long, Trump said, and then later the military came back and said we'd put a drone landing place on the top. None of that was in the plan for the ballroom.
No.
He literally says, after I declared I was doing the ballroom, they came to me and said, if you'd wait a little longer and spend a little more money, we could do this other thing. Because do you know what the military leaders do all the time? They hunt for ways to spend Americans' money. They will look at every situation and say, can we turn that into a military solution for us? They are the Miss Pac-Man of the government. They will gobble up every dollar. That's their function. Get as much as you can for the military. $1 trillion in this recent budget. Not, hey, we had to build a military installation to keep the White House and America safe. And as long as we were building a military installation underground, we thought we would redo the ballroom on top. Mm-hmm. If he had tried that, Americans might have gotten it. But when he just tore down the East Wing and then was approached by the government or by the military to do a little add-on below and above, now he's trying to act like this whole ballroom is about American security.
Yeah.
Do you know the real reason in the same press event why he wants a ballroom? China. She is coming. Trump thinks so lowly of America. He thinks that our White House was garbage. I've been to the White House. Have you been to the White House?
I've
the
never
pillars were not falling down. The Oval Office was not disgusting. None of that is true.
Mm-hmm.
There were no bed bugs like there is at Mar-a-Lago.
Mm.
The place was the White House. The East Wing was historic. He tore it down and gold-plated the Oval Office. Why? Because he's embarrassed of America. Here's what he says about Xi coming.
We have President Xi coming on September 24th or so. I think it's September 24th. And we'd love to have 2,000 people coming to dinner and celebrating a nice evening, et cetera, but we only have a room that's going to hold 89 people. You know, when I was in China, we went to the Great Hall of China. It was this big, beautiful building, and we don't have anything like that. And we have to have that. It's very important.
Can you imagine a Democratic president saying, we don't have what China has? China has a better ballroom than we have.
Mm.
We have a little bitty ballroom for 89 people. Well, I think there was something bigger in the East Wing before he tore it down, but we just have a little bitty ballroom. America is small. China is big. We can't have a 2,000 person meal and other things. China can. We need to be more like China. This is insane for a president of the United States to down-talk America and then to say we need to have a food service building the size of China. Why can't this guy ever talk about the good things of America? Does anybody, Rob, in Northwest Arkansas hope that Donald Trump can spend money on a 2,000 person dinner? Why would Doge not spend its time cutting the budget that is apparently available to provide a dinner celebration for 2,000 people? May we never have our federal government use the White House facility to run a catering event for 2,000 people. Your hard-earned money, America, eat at home and come on over to a work experience. The boondoggle that this guy thinks that being the president is just outrageous. Not even getting to his crypto corruption, not even getting to him fast-tracking his own sons having a bank charter, all the nonsense this guy is up to. With a straight face, he responds to John Ossoff's critique. You don't want to do your job, you want to build a ballroom with, we had to redecorate the White House.
I'd like to build a ballroom.
I need a ballroom. You know why? Because she is coming, and when I was there, we had a big room, and here we don't have room for 2,000 people. No American woke up today and said, sweetie, I'm going to do my best so we can have a ballroom for 2,000 people to eat with the president of China. Why does anyone care what the president of China thinks about our White House? This is the question you should ask every Republican running for office. Why does the Republican Party care about what the president of China thinks about our White House? Because you know what I'm thinking about? My house. And this administration's decisions and this Republican Party has made everything worse. It's just, I mean, this is so, and the fact that millions of Americans are like, well, we probably should have a ballroom.
Yeah, millions of Americans for sure are with the president, and this president is historically unpopular.
Good point.
New polling here in Arkansas, and Trump won Arkansas. Let's find out. Let's go 2024 Arkansas election results.
62%.
Sorry, I don't know this.
My guess. 62 to 64%.
So 63. 64.2%. Donald Trump
really
won
close.
Arkansas is 64.2%. New polling that came out yesterday. Do you approve or disapprove of the job Donald Trump is doing as president? 53% disapprove. Do you approve or disapprove of the job Donald Trump is handling the economy? 55% disapprove. Do you approve or disapprove of the job Donald Trump is handling the war with Iran? 56.5% disapprove. It's in Arkansas.
Arkansas, disapproving of this man. And does he care for a minute about any of that? When the critique is raised, you are not focused on the things you should do. He doubles down on, we really needed a ballroom because on September 24th, President Xi is coming.
Yep. And
I mean, literally the opposite response that any politician would ever give is, we need to spend Americans' money so we look good to China's leader.
Yep.
It's so, like, I know I'm dwelling on it, but literally imagine Barack Obama saying we should spend our time to make sure other countries like us. Imagine Donald Trump's opponent saying what Donald Trump said. If Joe Biden had said, we need to rework the hedge outside the White House so General Xi would look upon it with his approval, they would have said, capitulating to the communists. But now we have to have a ballroom to make the president of China think the president of the United States is honorable. Good Lord.
Second piece of data showing that even Republicans are turning on Donald Trump. In Florida's elections last night, in Florida's 7th congressional district, Congressman Corey Mills in the Republican primary, an incumbent, and I'll remind you that 90+% of incumbents get reelected to Congress. Mm-hmm. It is very difficult for an incumbent to be defeated, especially in a primary. In the Republican primary, Corey Mills, the incumbent Republican congressman who had the endorsement of Donald Trump, the complete and total endorsement of Donald Trump, got 34% of the vote and lost the primary.
Wow. The magic is gone.
It's gone. It's dwindling. Donald Trump's
bury the old soul and dance on his grave.
Donald Trump's handpicked replacement for Lindsey Graham to serve in the United States Senate as the senator from South Carolina. Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene Graham, participated in a debate yesterday. Doug, did you see this?
No.
She was asked by Greta Van Susteren in the debate because...
Okay, hold on a second. there's a blast. I mean, that's right up there with the Pee Wee Herman reference. Greta Van Susteren is still
moderating journalist / podcaster Greta Van Susteren, according to this article.
Well, good for her. I'm glad she's still got a place where she can do her thing. I've been a big fan of Greta Van Susteren. She turned anti-Trumpy for a little bit.
She was Darlene Graham. Now, first of all, let's just recognize that Trump's hand-picked successor in the United States Senate for Lindsey Graham has Republican opposition in a Republican primary. The Republicans in South Carolina didn't all just get in line and say, well, Trump picked who the successor is, that's who's going to be.
So, okay, well, remind me, did they not appoint someone to fill Lindsey Graham's position?
They appointed Darlene Graham.
So she's the senator.
And and Lindsey Graham, this Senate seat is up for election in November.
And
and she is running. So the Republicans have to have a primary to pick their candidate. And instead of the Republicans all lining up behind Darlene Graham, other Republicans are running for the United States Senate because the magic is gone. Running for the privilege of running against our friend and guest of the podcast, Dr. Annie Andrews,
who
Darlene Graham
could have a shot. It's really, I mean,
I know.
I don't think. Look, if South Carolina's in play,
it's over. Yeah. Journalist and podcaster Greta Van Susteren asked Graham whether Taiwan or the South China Sea was a national security issue for the United States.
I'm sorry, we say that again?
That's exactly what Darlene Graham said. That was the first thing she said. Could you repeat the question? The question was, is Taiwan or the South China Sea a national security issue for the United States?
Okay. Yeah.
Senator Darlene Graham's response was, and I quote, "I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not that informed on national security. But I do support the military. My brother was in the Air Force for 33 years, so I will do everything I can to support the military."
Wow.
Maybe Doug, you're not a United States. Maybe that's not a good way to go.
Maybe the nepotism in the Republican Party of just appointing family members to jobs.
We're back to
not
the Peter principle.
Merit-based world that the anti-DEI people told us we need to transition to.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this job. My brother had it, and so, I'm selling his condo and his couch, so I thought I'd just do his job for 6 months.
Doug, you are not a United States senator. You are not running to be a United States senator. You are not a national security expert. You are not.
Some have said maybe
former military.
Was she military?
Doug, I don't know. Her brother was. Give me 15 seconds on Taiwan and the South China Sea as a national security issue for the United States.
Yeah, China has been wanting to annex the independence of Taiwan for a long time, and the United States of America has put a significant military presence in the South China Sea, also to support South Korea, and they've moved military assets from there to give a break to the USS Lincoln that has been stuck in the Persian Gulf, where men are losing their minds and attempting suicide because they've been out for 277 days.
Right. we could all riff an answer on Taiwan. We all could.
She probably brought it up because Donald Trump said, I had a talk with the president of South Korea and asked him, even though I don't need his help, would you help us with Iran? And he said no. So we're moving our assets out that have been there under an agreement that's been in place since 1954. And we're just going to break the deal because what's the point in helping them if they won't help us on something we don't need help with?
Yeah.
Because he's bad at his job and doesn't want to do it and won't think about it. And so many decisions end up in his side of the table in the ping pong game of decision making. We end up with America being less safe, with Taiwan being less safe. The same day that he says about South Korea, we're not going to have our assets there. In fact, we're not even going to run one of the war games that we do twice a year to be sure you're prepared in case North Korea attacks you. And we're kind of pulling back whether we're going to be there for you or not. He posts a picture on his cheesy social media site of him with the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, and calls him his friend. Because when Kim shows up and Trump doesn't have a 2,000-person ballroom to give him a big dinner in, how embarrassing. To only be able to have 100 friends over. Is that the America we've all believed in for so long? Is that America great again? Honestly, we've all argued for years, what makes America great? What does he mean? You know why it was so elusive? Because we all looked at the option that what he means by America is great is that we have a 2,000-person ballroom for the president to have parties in. We never thought that was what he meant. We thought it meant competency and goodness and care, and the American people thriving, and freedom and liberty flowing, and the openness of engagement around the world, and the leadership of America, and the lion laying down with the lamb. No. Gold plating at a 2,000 plate room.
Doug, here's a throwback for you. This guy's got to go.
Well, you know what's going to happen, Rob, in your district, in Chris's district in Arkansas, maybe with Annie Andrews in South Carolina, with James Tallarico, with John Ossoff, with Lindsey James, all over the country. Democrats are going to take control of Congress, both the House and the Senate. Mm-hmm. And can you imagine Donald Trump, lame duck, doesn't have control of either house? Right now, he has control of both. He'll have control of neither. And Republicans are going to start running for the Republican nomination, critiquing him. The incoming is going to be immense. There are going to be 25 anti-Trump Republicans running for president. There are going to be 20 pro-Trump candidates running for president as Republicans. There's going to be 20, give or take, Trump was our guy, we got to move on, he did a great job, let's thank the old man and move on to the future. He is going to be raging every single day against all of them. He will say about the anti-Trump people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's un-American. Yep. He'll say about he did his great job, Can't do it anymore. People like Haley, what was her name? Former UN speaker who ran for president. She was anti-Trump.
Nikki Haley.
Thank you. Nikki Haley, who's for sure running again. She's going to run against Nikki Haley, who's like, thank you, President Trump, for your great job, but we got to move on now. It's going to be, she was never loyal to the Marco Rubios, to the J.D. Vances, who are like, Trump made America so great. He'll say, you're not Donald Trump. You can't do it. He is just going to be a defeated old man using the power of the presidency to hang fresh curtains and yell at the world. Rob, do you remember being a kid and hearing about Howard Hughes and finding it nearly impossible to believe that the richest man in America at the time was holed away in his later years with his fingernails growing long, obsessively eating one or two things, not even leaving to go to the bathroom? I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Might be what Mar-a-Lago looks like.
But we might be saying when someone says, Donald Trump said, and we say, who? Howard Hughes? And more than just gloating about feeling good, we're actually going to be able to move on from all of this nonsense.
Yeah.
And as people are saying in the chat, Republicans are so ready to move on.
Yeah.
Yep. The regret for voting for this guy. In the 2028 November election, if Democrats can give the American people what feels to them like a reasonable choice, and this is a critique on where we sit in America, 2 of our last 3 presidential candidates on the Democratic side have felt to so many Americans not to have been a reasonable choice. Gender, race, and how they got the nomination. It is hard to remember how many people felt like Hillary Clinton should not have been the nominee in 2016. How deep, now, whether or not that was legitimate critique somebody held or just the packaging they were putting around their anti-Hillary thing, but there was a lot of anyone but her, why her, she's actually not qualified, she's never run for election other than 1 Senate seat, and why is she the nominee? She was set up because her husband was, all that stuff. Then Kamala Harris put in as the nominee essentially by Joe Biden dropping out. Joe Biden, who actually won the primary, still had a hard time whether people thought he was legitimately selected one. So Democrats have to figure out how to have the system feel fair, have there be a lot of debate and a lot of choice, and then America can get behind the person and go forward. And because we have multiple issues, how the person was selected and how qualified 2 of our last 3 candidates were. And frankly, like we stumped hard for Kamala Harris, and she's welcome to be on this podcast anytime. She's welcome to be a co-host of the podcast. It'd be great. Her performance as a candidate raised serious questions about her competency for the job. She was very, very undervetted. It's not as if she was sort of talked about and then put into the candidate position, and then we were all like, wow. You know what I'm doing? I am quoting Kamala Harris all day long. not totally sure what her positions were, all the things that go into like people getting excited about a candidate. I was an easy buy. I liked her. I believed in her. I supported her when she ran the first time. I was an easy pick. I was going to be there the whole time. I had very little on election day to say about her bona fides than I had in January of 2024.
Yeah.
There are some things that are just built into the American selection of a president that we need. We've got to pick somebody that Americans feel like they know and they trust and they're excited about. And honestly, I know people think it's all about policy. I know people think it's going to be about, should they be more progressive like the DSA people? Should they be more moderate like the moderates? Should they be more liberal and less progressive? Should they be more kind or more mean? Blah, all that. I don't think it matters for a minute. It's going to matter for the activists. It's going to matter for people like us. But of the 80 million people or 84 million people that are going to need to cast votes for the person to win, the greatest majority are going to be like, is the person qualified? Do I know him? Do I like him? Do I trust him? That's what I think.
Yep.
Hey, in Florida, another shocking DSA win.
Yeah.
Meaning shocking because people didn't see it coming. Alexander Vindman was running there.
Yeah.
Am I saying his first name right? Is it Alexander Vindman?
Yeah. Yep.
He raised $18 million and lost the primary for a Senate seat.
Yep. United States Senate. Mm-hmm.
To somebody who raised $1 million.
Yeah.
Which I will say is not a good thing for the Democrats who want to win the seat. Not because of her policies. I think she's where most Floridians are. Not because of her affect, because she's very compelling. But because you have to raise a lot of money to win a Senate seat. And if you could only raise $1 million, that is that. I'm just saying, if you have to now have to borrow the apparatus from the system that you railed against and ran against to raise enough money to win, it's going to be hard to raise enough money. Florida is a big state that just requires a lot of people and a lot of outreach and a lot of media, and it's going to be very hard. What do you think about that? You think should there be worry in the air about somebody who, I mean, you can say she was David versus Goliath in the primary, but it's like, but you can't win a war with a stone.
I don't think Florida has ever been considered to be in play in terms of the United States Senate. So, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, nice point.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, let me be very articulate about this.
That's a good point. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Because they're not going to win anyway. They're not going to win Florida. What do you think about the governor's race? David Jolly, who we are one friend away from being friends with, who used to be a Republican congressman, is now the gubernatorial candidate on the Democratic side, which is very Florida.
Yeah. Yep. That's going to be super interesting to watch. Byron Donalds, congressman from Florida, is the Republican nominee. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Florida has been one of these states that has been super red and increasingly so. There seems to be nationally some kind of shift. We are less than 90 days. We're 10 weeks away from the election. will there be something that breaks, that shifts things in the other direction? Because right now the momentum is all with the Democrats across the board. I was told that there was some polling that was done in Florida and it showed that 32% of Republican voters were planning on skipping the midterm. If a third of Republican voters just don't vote, there's going to be some races that Democrats win that are going to be surprising.
Yes, not because Democratic turnout was higher than expected, but because Republican turnout was lower.
And it very well might turn into a both and. Yeah.
I just want to leave you with one last thought on Natalie. Donald Trump said about Natalie, according to the Regime Change book by Maggie Hamerman, Jonathan Swan. Addressing White House staffers in the Oval Office regarding his inner circle and staff turnover, he said, "All of you will go off and make money. Natalie is the only one who loves me as much as my wife and kids.
Oh, my heart.
She'll never leave me."
Well, it must be nice to be able to just have a dress rehearsal, a test run of wife number 4.
She loves me like my wife and kids.
Wow. Doug, have you ever said that another woman loves you like your wife?
No.
No.
No. And I've been doing everything I can. It's just so absurd. It just
these people.
God love us all. Every day we can complain about it. Every day we should learn about it. And one day we can do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
One day,
yep,
every 2 years. Sometimes you get lucky in a special election. I was going to say, sometimes you get lucky like people in South Carolina, but they didn't get to vote. She was the point. Sometimes you just get a little extra one, but about every 2 years, all of your worry, all of your anxiety, all of your actions can come to bear on campaigning, cheering on, supporting groups like Vote Common Good. I don't know if you know, but if you give us $1, Democrats win. If you give us $1,000, more Democrats win. If you give us $1 million, more Democrats win. No one knows how this works, but that's just what happens. We've found. I mean, I think we should test the theory. Everybody give us $1,000 and let's see who wins in November. And then we'll see. VoteCommonGood.com. Click on the donate button. That is what the text messages feel like that I get from Kansas. You know, I used to pick on, I screenshot and send her on Trump. I'm on Trump's text list. And you're always getting this stuff like, the president sees your name is not on the list. He needs you right now. He told me to message you. And it's just absurd. Now I'm getting those from these groups working with candidates like, Amy Klobuchar's, apparently you don't like Amy and we don't know why. What's it going to take to get you to, and I'm like, okay, I don't normally spam these things, but because I want to stay on some and I feel like they're all connected. And if I get off of one, I feel like I'm going to get off all of them. Literally insulting me and threatening me and telling me I'm not a good support. I mean, the level of desperation that people are using, even on the Democratic side, it's like, okay, friends, I know you need us all to chip in $5, but oh my lands. Yeah. Because if that works, we will start texting all of you with that. If you're telling me as an American citizenry No, basically telling people you're not good enough and this is why your dad never really spent time with you. So send us some money so your dad will have liked you. I'll do that. We'll send those text messages. We will not. All right, Jeff's got to go off to work. Jeff, I hope, or Josh has to go off to work.
I
Josh,
do too.
It's the job you like. Thanks for being a part of this. I know there were a bunch of people in the chat that we didn't get to put your things up, but I was ranting.
You ranted a lot today. Yeah, I'm off to Razor Bash.
Say more.
Razor Bash. It is it's an event on the campus of the University of Arkansas, where students get a chance to meet some nonprofits and places to get plugged in. There'll be some companies there with job opportunities. It's a little tabling, a little, hey, glad, welcome back to campus. And
nice.
And I will be there with the college Democrats, encouraging folks to sign up and be a part of Democratic politics here in Arkansas.
Is it in your district?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. University of Arkansas is in Fayetteville. Come on, Doug. That's one you ought to know.
I'm very unfamiliar with the location of the university college system campuses.
Oh,
I gotta tell you.
When you're here, I'm gonna drive you. And listen, when you're gonna be here, we're loading it up. You got stuff happening.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. We're gonna have a good time. I think we're gonna have an event
about how we might need to go to Laredo on that day, but okay.
I think we're gonna have an event at Logan's Steakhouse.
Oh, I missed this.
We've never done that before.
Okay. Yeah. Well, isn't that where you went with Vanessa for your meal?
Nope, that was the
anniversary?
Oak Steakhouse.
Oh, jeez, how many steakhouses do you know of?
Oh, well, very, very different.
Well, cannot wait to be at the steakhouse and to meet the grannies.
We got to make that happen. We got to get them at an event.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being a part of all of this. If you're ever at anything we're doing, say hi to us. Our calendar on the Vote Common Good website will be filling in as nearly every day with new things that are popping up. So if you looked once, look again, because we're always going to be updating the places we're going to be and the locations we're going to be in, what we're going to be up to and what we're going to be doing. So, all right, Joe. See you. Bye.